Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. You may have clicked on this video because you have either had gastric bypass or you've been thinking about it. And I know a lot of you guys have been here on this journey with me over the last year. And honestly, sitting down to film this right now is just a huge reality check of how quickly time goes by. I've sat down to film this now like 4 times and I am nervous. As you can tell by the title of this, I am having gastric bypass surgery. It truly feels like just yesterday that I had the surgery, but it also feels maybe like longer. It's a lot of mixed emotions, but anyway, I asked you guys over on my Instagram to send me in specific questions that you wanted me to talk about, but overall, I thought I would just do a 1-year update. When I'm posting this, my surgiversary is yesterday. So November 16th, 2021, my dog is here with me. So if you hear like random breathing or noise, it's my dog. You want to say hi? You look so big. But you're very small. So I'm just gonna dive into the questions because honestly, I feel like it's just gonna touch on everything that I would want to say and answer. And I took the most popular questions. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, follow me there because I ask you guys to ask me questions. Okay, from your gastric bypass journey, do you feel confident to pass on healthy eating habits to future kids? Absolutely. I'm definitely not perfect by any means, but through my program and through intuitive eating, I read that book before my surgery actually, or I listened to it on audiobook. That was amazing. I love intuitive eating. It's really, really cool, surgery or not. I feel like it's just totally how our bodies were made, and society has kind of messed up our hunger cues. And if you've had a rough relationship with food, it's really helpful. In no way, shape, or form am I perfect with food. I still have my struggles here and there, but I took a big chapter of that book. They have a chapter about raising intuitive eaters, and my husband's really on board with it too. So that's my plan. I want a lot of balance and talk more about feelings, and I don't want them to ever feel restricted. And I don't know, I definitely have a different viewpoint on food now, and I'll take that into when we have kids. If you guys didn't know, my husband and I just started trying for a baby. That was one of the biggest reasons I got my surgery. I'll link below the gastric bypass playlist where I introduce it, take you guys along on the journey and talk more about my whys. But one of the biggest reasons why was to get healthy, to start a family, because I just was not feeling my best. How will weight loss look while and after being pregnant? I don't know. I wish I had a crystal ball. Actually, I don't wish I had a crystal ball. No, thank you. I am just going to try to live my healthiest, happiest life in all aspects while we become pregnant, God willing. My surgeon said we could start trying 1 year after my surgery, and we were cleared to do so. So I am super excited that we just started trying, and I'll keep you guys posted on that when I have updates. What's the best way to pay for this, and how much did it actually cost? I'm considering it. My insurance covered it in full. Every insurance is different. I've seen some people write in and say that their insurance did not offer to cover it, and they would need to pay out of pocket. So I don't know, it's a really personal preference. I don't know, like if you can switch insurance easily. I know that's not simple. I don't know, but my insurance personally covered the whole thing. So if you have to pay out of pocket, I don't know if they have payment plans or things like that. I know that's difficult, and I was very, very thankful that our insurance covered the entire thing. I had like a small copay here and there when I'd have to get my blood drawn, which was very frequent, but yeah, that was my experience. How much have you lost? What does eating look like? I am 8 months post-op, so I am down 110 pounds to the T. What does eating look like? So overall, if you watch my journey in that playlist, it's like when I first was starting to eat again, I kind of said that it was about 25% of what I used to be able to eat, and then get full. And honestly now, I would say it hasn't really gone up that much. Obviously, I can eat more than what I could, 9 months ago, shortly after surgery, etc. But I would say like I get full at about 40 to 50% of what I used to be able to eat. But I don't feel like that's changed in months. Like it's been like that probably since about the 6-7 month mark. I don't feel like I'm really able to eat that much more as time progresses, just because I eat the same things so regularly. So I'm very aware of what I eat and how much of it I eat. So that's been my personal experience with food and how much I can eat. I know it's different for everyone, but I got a lot of questions too, like, will you ever be able to eat normal again, right? And normal, I guess, is different for everyone, but for me, I'm able to eat about 40 to 50% of what I could eat pre-surgery, probably closer to 40. I guess it depends what it is too, but I always try to focus on protein first, and that fills you up more. There are a lot of foods they call slider foods that like you can definitely eat more of, and it can be dangerous, like popcorn. Popcorn, I find I can eat so much popcorn like and not get full. So it's something, if I'm gonna eat popcorn, I pair it with protein. So that way I'm not just like, because I also don't feel good. That's the whole thing too. If I eat a bunch of popcorn, I feel sick. So I pair it with like a cheese stick or some almonds, and then my stomach just feels better and I don't eat a ton of popcorn where I end up feeling sick. So there's things like slider foods, like popcorn, like kind of empty like carbs or chips, but like those things make me personally feel really sick if I eat too much and don't pair it with a protein. Sorry, that was very long-winded. Will you ever share your starting weight? I think it would be inspirational and courageous. I've thought about this so many times, especially because I feel like now I actually see a lot of women of all shapes and sizes being more open about their weight because it's a number, and I just feel like we need to take the power away from the number. And like, I already get scrutinized enough on the internet, and I'm like, what's a number really gonna like do? So I'm like, whatever. I have shared so much online. Like at this point, what does it matter if I share my starting weight? So my starting weight was 389 and my weight today is 279. And I know people ask, I'm 5'7.5" for reference, but yeah, that's my weight. How are you doing with all the emotions that come with a big change? Much love. So much emotion. So I had a vlog back, again, on that playlist, sorry, where I talked about how emotions are handled so differently now. My dog is attacking a bone. I really hope the mic isn't picking that up. But yeah, emotions are different. I remember there's a vlog of it where I was talking to Yar, my husband, and I was just like, all of a sudden just feeling very overwhelmed, and I just started crying. And that's happened to me a lot throughout this process. Not so much now, but like I used to use food to cope with emotions so much, so freaking much. And it has been a huge adjustment not being able to do that anymore. And it feels a little bit scary because like when you've used something as a coping mechanism for so long, to not be able to do that anymore can be absolutely terrifying. And that is why you go through, therapy and counseling. And I highly recommend you continue that throughout, and you can do that with your program. Most of them should include that. But yeah, I talked a lot about that, and I learned more that I was more of an emotional eater than a binge eater. I've always used food to cope with emotions, right? So I had to find different tools to cope with, negative emotions, sadness, loneliness, anxiety, etc. The good thing is, I don't know if this is a good thing per se, but this is just me being totally transparent. A lot of the foods I used to be able to emotionally eat with, particularly unhealthy foods, would now make me sick. They make me sick now. It's not even a pleasant thing for me anymore. I'm not someone who can just eat through pain and discomfort. If I feel sick, I'm not gonna wanna keep eating. So and if I get full or if something doesn't make me feel good, I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't crave it. So that's helped me in a way. But I have gotten back into exercise. Even before I recently went back to the gym, but even before then, going on walks helps me so much. I got really into taking baths, just doing relaxing things, talking to people. I'm someone, when I get anxious or in a negative emotional state, I kind of just clam up and shut down, and I want to just eat and watch a good show. But instead, talking it through and seeing people and just going out, even going for a drive, singing along to your favorite music, it helps so much. so much. So you'll find things that are a healthy way to cope with emotions. Is it difficult? Does it take a little while to figure out? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. And be honest with your therapist. Be honest with the food nutritional counselor during your program. Don't be ashamed. Like, you're not alone. Like, I'm right there with you. Everyone has different food issues, most likely if you're going through this procedure. So I just want you to know that, like, there's no shame in it. We all have things. If you're watching this and you're judging me because of my food issues, whatever, I know you have issues of your own, and we all have our things. And I think it's just so much better if we're just honest, so people don't feel so alone, and we're just not judgmental to everyone. Let's just be loving and understanding of each other. That was another long-winded answer. Is life after surgery as bad as they say? Will I ever eat normal again? I don't feel like life after surgery is bad at all. I feel like it's the happiest I've been in a while. Will I ever be able to eat normal again? I kind of touched on that already. It's going to be different for everyone, what normal is. But life after surgery is not bad at all. It's feeling very balanced, happy, peaceful, healing my relationship with food. Again, not saying I'm perfect. Healing my relationship with food has been an extremely huge stress relief for me. And in a way, like I said, it is kind of forced. Because not only are you restricted and you might feel sick and things like that, but also, the emotional work went into it as well. So it's a physical restriction, but the emotional work is really important to go hand in hand with it. Do you eat different foods 6 months post-op versus a year post-op? I'd say with the 6 month mark, it's about the same. I did recently introduce carbonation back into my life. I am not downing Diet Coke every day like I used to. I actually don't love the taste of Diet Coke anymore, which is really weird, really weird. I used to be a Diet Coke fiend, and respect to all my Diet Coke girlies out there. I almost wish I still loved it, but like the taste it doesn't do anything for me anymore. It just doesn't taste the same. But I do drink these things called Poppy. They're like a prebiotic soda. The cherry limeade and the raspberry rose are my favorites. They're so yummy. And they're like gut health sodas, but they're really, really good. So I drink maybe one of those every other day. I just sip it slowly, but it was approved by my doctor. They did say you can see how it feels. I know some doctors are like no carbonation. Some doctors are no straws. I didn't have that at my personal experience. So listen to your doctor. Do what you feel is best for you. That's my experience. I don't have any discomfort. I don't feel like it's stretched my pouch. I don't feel like sick. Like, everyone is different. I have a friend who had gastric bypass. She had no issues with carbonation. I know people online who have said it makes them feel like bloated and just uncomfortable. So to each their own. I do feel like something I've really learned with this surgery is it's so different for everyone. Like, I've heard so many different things from everyone about things their doctor had said or different experiences with different people. I know, I think like 3, 4, maybe 5 people in my real life who have had the surgery. So I did have people to lean on during this, which was really helpful. And that's why I'm talking about this publicly, because I want people to be able to lean on me. I get messages all the time of like, I've been thinking about doing this and I was so scared, and like watching you helped me. And that is why I wanted to share this, because I want you to know that like it can feel scary to go through it alone. And like, I want to be that bestie by your side giving you support. Are all my answers this long? What surprised you most about the surgery and recovery? Probably, like, I expected there to be emotional challenges, but like I was at first like, oh wow, I'm feeling my emotions so much more because I can't cope with food. And at first I couldn't really figure it out either. I was like, why am I crying right now? You know? And then you have to really be introspective and just work. There's a lot to work through emotionally. It's definitely a lot of emotional work and physical as well. So that was probably what surprised me the most. In terms of like recovery, what surprised me the most, I ended up having like an allergic reaction kind of to like where they inserted the numbing stuff. So I was very itchy for a while. I expected more pain actually internally, but it is very minimally invasive, which is great. So overall, like it was a pretty like seamless recovery in my personal opinion. Again, Everyone's is different. My 6-month anniversary just passed. Please tell me the hair loss and growing in gets better. Absolutely. I was just talking about this with someone the other day. The hair loss was wild. It's kind of a blur. I think it started for me around 3-4 months. But yeah, I would just run my hands through my hair and just like clumps of it. I was like, yo, what is going on? Because like I thought I'd kind of skipped on past it. I might be getting the months wrong. My memory sucks. But like it started around there, I think. And it's recently stopped. I'd say it stopped around 9-10 months after surgery. I still have a little bit of shedding, but not nearly as bad as it used to be. The best thing I can say is just make sure you're taking your bariatric vitamins, getting enough protein, drinking enough water, and that's all you can control. It might just happen. If you want to confirm that with your doctor, you can, but that was my experience. It definitely gets better. What was the process like to get approved for it? I've touched on this in like previous videos, but it was a few months process. In terms of getting approved for it, the approval process wasn't that long. The whole process, once it started, was a few months. I got approved for it. Once I had my initial consultation, I want to say like it was pretty immediate. Like within a few days, I was able to set up the rest of my appointments. But what I can recommend is if you're going through your insurance, I think I knew I qualified because of my BMI and I knew my insurance covered it. Like call your insurance. I know like calling insurance sucks, but call them and be like, am I covered for weight loss surgery? And they'll give you a list of who's in your area that will cover it. And I just called around until someone had an available appointment on the earlier side for a consultation because a lot of people were booking out months. So don't get discouraged. Keep calling. What have you learned about yourself from this journey? I have learned, I think a big thing is that like I did use food to cope with negativity a lot. And I started that from when I was a child. And I had to really look inward about it. And that was probably the biggest thing that I learned. I also learned that I'm stronger than I realized. Like I look back at things I've gone through and I'm like, girl, like you're pretty tough. Because this process is intense. Like it's a beautiful process. It's one of those things that's like hard but really beautiful, because you do learn so much about yourself and you are putting in so much work on you, like mentally, emotionally, physically. It's so much change, but like truly for the better. Like looking back from the year, I'm like, whoa, like so much has changed internally as well as physically, and it's a journey. But like, and I know that's so corny, it's a journey, but like in the most beautiful way, truly. You do learn so much about yourself along the way and how resilient you are. I'm getting surgery on December 9th. Congrats. You're gonna do great. What should I bring to the hospital? I didn't bring that much, honestly. Mine was just one overnight. I think I brought like AirPods and clothes and my glasses. Like I really didn't bring that much. How did this affect your personal relationship, going out to eat with your partner, etc.? My husband was so supportive throughout the whole thing. Like God bless that man. So supportive from the get-go. Just wants me to be happy. The biggest thing was in social gatherings altogether, it's different with food. Like going out to eat, it's just not as fun for a while. You kind of adapt, and like you can't drink alcohol for a while. Alcohol, is a doozy now. I have finally discovered I can only drink like watered down drinks, especially if they have like a lot of sugar. I'm like, it just makes me feel so sick, so dizzy. I can drink like a watered down margarita or like a seltzer, like a low sugar seltzer. Like otherwise drinks just make me not feel good, not feel good. Like literally I'll be ordering a drink and I like dump half out and pour in water. It is a sight to see. But yeah, it's different. Like going out to eat with people, a lot changes. I will say over time it gets a little bit easier because you can just like eat a little bit more or drink or whatever, and that's very social. And yeah, with my husband, he was there for me throughout the emotional parts of it, the physical parts of it, all of it. I think the biggest thing I can recommend to you is if you're gonna do this, you have to have a good support system. That is the biggest thing. Whether it's family, a friend, an online community, have people you can talk to throughout this who are going to encourage you. If you have people in your life who don't want you to get the surgery, keep them at a distance for a bit because you need support during this time. Do you eat spicy stuff and does it burn your stomach? I do. I love spicy food. It does not hurt my stomach. With all the changes it's made in your daily life, is it still worth it? You look happy. I am very happy. Thank you. It's 100% worth it. I can honestly say it's one of the best things I have ever done. The only thing I miss is being able to take Aleve or naproxen for period cramps. That's like my favorite period medication. With gastric bypass now, I can only take Tylenol and like it really just doesn't do anything for me. Like my back pain's gone, my knee pain is gone. Like physically, I feel just like reborn, which is nice. All right, guys, my camera battery died. I think I've been rambling for kind of a while. Those were the majority of the questions, but if you guys have any more, feel free to leave them down in the comments and I will definitely get back to you. But if you're on this journey, like you're gonna do so great. It seems so scary, but like just take it day by day, find support, talk to your doctors, don't be afraid to ask questions, and just have so much faith in yourself. Like you are so much stronger than you even realize. But I love you guys so much and I'm so grateful for all the support this last year. Like it has meant the world. You guys are incredible. So I love you so much and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.